Let's go to Abuja and get to speak with the Group Executive Director, Exploration and Production of NNPC, who I understand is on the phone now. Good morning, Engineer B.A. Membere. Good morning, sir. Yes. Now, let's start by asking you this very simple question. Has there been a $49 billion or even $50 billion that the NNPC has failed to remit to the CBN?
The answer is definitely no. I listened to the CBN rep and also the industry expert. The truth is very simple. There's a monthly reconciliation. Nobody complained in January 2012. Half year, there was no complaint.
I need to stop you. Could you please put off your TV set or reduce the volume so that you will be able to have this conversation without the sound coming in the background?
Can you hear me better now?
Please I can hear you, but you just need to mute your television set.
I've done that already.
Thank you. Now, please go ahead.
Yes, as I was saying, if all of us agree that the oil and gas industry generates 80 to 90% of the federal revenue that we use for other sectors, and a large chunk of it is not attributed, then what are we using to run the government? That's one aspect of it. Now, the second aspect of the letter is if the letter states that 49 or 50 billion is missing or is not accounted for by the statutory agencies that are supposed to release, then that's a very different issue. But the letter was specific on NNPC. So that is actually the missing link. I don't understand. For the federal government revenue, there are different agencies with different accounts that pay money into CBN. The government letter clearly stated different sources of revenue to the federal government. Export proceeds from NNPC, petroleum profit tax, it didn't say royalty, but I will assume when you use the word etc., royalty is involved. These are the three key elements. The concession payments are very, very minimal in terms of revenue generation. If you have the three elements, and three agencies are responsible: NNPC, DPRO, and the Federal Inland Revenue Service. And for any reason, CBN did not receive 50 billion. The title of the letter to the presidency should state clearly that certain amount of money is not yet remitted to the federation account. What we are seeing out of the total is only NNPC's remittance. Then the question is, where are the rest? But the letter was very specific. If you go to paragraph 7 of the letter, where comparison was made for 2012 analysis, about 16 billion was realized in 28.51 billion was realized in petroleum profits and related taxes, but only 10.1 from crude oil proceeds. The same analysis was made for 2013.
Mr. Member, please hold on just 1 second. Let me just find out. If you say that everything has been remitted, how much has been remitted between Mr. Member, how much has been remitted by NNPC between January 2012 and July 2013? How much has been remitted to the CBN?
We've remitted about 18 billion this year. About 18.28 billion was remitted this year based on the NNPC's mandate. Not the CBN acknowledged to be 15.52. Our records indicate that we remitted more than that. Yesterday, the GMD speech clearly stated that in terms of borrowings are higher than what CBN recorded. But the point I'm making with respect to that paragraph is, if there's an anomaly, then we will have seen a trend of 2010 and 2011 and say, look, 2010, the remittance was 50%. 2011 it is 50, but 2012 is 24. Then we cannot find out what is responsible.
Okay, for 2012, between January and December 2012, how much did the CBN, the NNPC remit to the CBN? For 2012, how much was remitted? I mean, you should have that statistics, that figure now. You have that statistics.
If you go back to the CBN's letter, I see the paragraph 7. Okay, where he clearly stated 10.13 billion from crude oil proceeds out of 2.5. But that is not the total amount remitted in 2012. Our reference now is on 2013, is RTF time, and we know we've made the mark that 10 billion in 2013.
Now, Mr. Member, I'd like us to approach this in a very clear, strategic, and very logical way. What I'm asking is, in 2012, how much did you remit? You're referring to paragraph 7 of the letter from the CBN to the president, and you're saying that 10 billion was claimed to have been remitted. How much is it that you actually remitted to the CBN? How much exactly? Oh, we just lost him there. Okay, let me come back to you, Zaka.
Yes.
What is your thought about all of this that is happening? Because we're not getting the right information. We need to know how much was remitted for 2012. But what's your thought about it?
I will talk in my capacity as a petroleum engineer and also as a chartered accountant. But before doing that, the summary of everything just point out to the fact that there is lack of congruency and interagency data and information sharing. Because what we're just talking is very, very simple, very, very elementary account reconciliation. You have a round table, NNPC is here, CBN is here, and the solution is just in the center. You can have that as easily resolved as something you can do on a cup of coffee. When you talk about building financial asset, and you have a body like the CBN, I appreciate the position of CBN, because what they're supposed to make sure they reduce domestic borrowing, they level debt ratios, they take care of liquidity issues and inflation, they build excess crude account, then they make sure they take care of external reserves due to accretion. But also when you talk about accounting, where now we have the issue, when you talk about general based accounting, you look at the respective sectors and now come up with the way you carry out their own accounting. Because CBN before now, and I think up till now, is a member of the Nigerian Accounting Standard Board. Before that became the statement of accounting standards got replaced by International Financial Reporting Standards. CBN has been a member, and they roll out accounting standards and policies. In other words, when you are accounting for construction industry, the strategy is different. When you are accounting for insurance, it is different. Before now, in the former statement of accounting standard for Nigeria, issued by the Accounting Standard Board, in which CBN is a member, SAS, that is Statement of Accounting Standard number 14, dealt with accounting for the petroleum sector upstream, right? Then SAS 17 dealt with accounting for the petroleum industry downstream sector. So now coming back to the issue, when you are accounting for the oil and gas or the petroleum sector upstream, right, you must first of all come with the classification. And in Nigeria, depending on the country in which you are now, in Nigeria, first of all, we have two separate bodies. We have the joint venture operators and we have what we call the production sharing agreement. When you talk about the joint venture, you are now talking about NNPC and international oil companies and a couple of Nigerian companies, right? And when you come with that, the way I'm talking chartered accountants are watching, petroleum engineers are watching, and financial analysts are watching. When you want to account for the petroleum revenues in upstream, you must classify them. You have what we call the equity crude oil, right? You have what we call the royalty. Then you have what we call the petroleum profit tax or the tax oil. The equity crude is the one that accrues to the Nigerian government by virtue of its relationship with the joint ventures. I want to believe that's probably what NNPC is, the GM was trying to talk about or whatever. Okay. Then the next one is this. When you talk about the profit, the tax oil, that one is being accounted for, and that one is being taken care of by Federal Inland Revenue Service, whose account is also domiciled within Central Bank.
Okay. So